everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some Iron-Blooded Orphans. And last time, McGillis and Tekkadan finally teamed up, fought Galen, and killed him. A whole bunch of other stuff happened. We wrapped up the loose ends from this conflict, and I think they're going to move into the next arc now. And it's going to be a Visor episode. And in terms of corrections, last time I said, "Aha, they are father and son." I thought they looked similar, and I was wrong, and I totally misheard. It's friend.
As much as
They
I
are
like
friends.
having you on recording, admitting you were wrong, for as many times as people will call me Mustache Guy and not Theta, I know that nobody's paying attention to this part opening segment. So
Well,
I
hey,
guess that one's
at the
just
very
for
least,
me.
yeah, just for you. It's my special gift right there. So, they've promised a Visor episode, and I'm really not sure where they're gonna go next right now.
Well, why don't you explain to the audience what a Visor episode is?
I mean, we have our competing character under what was his name? I just said it, Russell, who has the visor,
Rustall, not Russell.
Rustall, and his name apparently starts with a V. I heard it earlier in the day, and
Vidar.
now I've already forgotten. Vader?
Vidar. It's
Vidar.
Vidar, so I don't know if it's Vidar or
They're,
Vidar or
they're gonna
Vi.
say in the episode, and then I'm gonna forget. So yeah, he's been kind of in the background. I don't think he's really done anything yet. He's just existed, right?
What do you mean by competing?
McGillis also has the mask and does like the whole thing every now and then.
I don't think he does that anymore. I think that was a cover for his merchant organization before when he was doing the whole Machiavellian play for control over Galahorn.
Maybe. Right. I mean, he's still stealing the vibe, and I love the vibe, honestly.
So you
So,
mean, when you say competing, you mean competing with the vibe or competing with,
competing with the vibe. I mean, also he probably might try to stab him.
I don't know. I also don't read that this episode is going to be just all about Visor Guy.
Oh, it probably isn't, but I mean, at least we'll get a moment or two to like explain like what he's doing or why he's going to be important soon.
I mean, I dare say that we could see him for like 10 minutes, and I don't think the episode would explain what he's up to.
Well, only one way to find out, right?
Read the wiki.
Ah. No, we're gonna watch.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay.
Let's go ahead and watch.
Let's discuss
1
the war
month
between
later,
the SAU and the Arbrow Defense
back to
Force.
Sea Fortress.
It's plain as day. All responsibility lies with the Outer Earth Orbit Regulatory Joint Fleet. Thanks to this incident, lingering tensions between economic blocs will surely break out into open conflicts.
You'd think they would come up with an acronym for that fleet, by the way. As many times as they say the name.
Kujan, calm yourself. Try looking at the situation
They could
from
do
this
Joint
angle.
Action Fleet and just call it
Collateral damage was cut to a
JAF.
minimum, thanks
Well, I
to
just
Lord
mean the
Falk.
Outer Orbit
However,
Regulatory
given
Joint
the number
Fleet
of issues
is a
Earth
mouthful.
currently faces, I'm not sure if it's wise for the Outer Earth
Or
Orbit
See?
Regulatory Joint
Say
Fleet
that
to
again.
spread its reach to Mars.
That's literally a
Now
mouthful.
that you mention it, perhaps that is
Maybe
a
it flows
decision
off the
that we ought
tongue
to
better in
reconsider.
Japanese.
Even more troubling is the man who they say led the Arbrow Defense Force.
We've investigated. There's not a single record of the man in question
Let's
in
call it
any
the
of the
Orch.
databases on Earth.
Well, if you ask me, I doubt such a man existed at all. It's more likely that Arbrow concocted this fabrication to cover their blunder.
You have a point.
But according to the testimonies of several witnesses, someone was at the scene.
But can we trust the credibility of these witnesses?
According to a bunch of eyewitnesses, someone was there. I'm just saying, that is some horrible reporting.
Well, hey, you know, the antagonists will have to talk and figure out what's going on too, I suppose. They're not a unified front.
No,
as
no,
we've
no. I just
viewed
mean
before.
like if you were playing a mystery game, right? Like a video game where all you had was police reports to go on. The police interviewed a number of people on the scene, and the corroborating evidence all suggests that someone was there.
Mhm.
Yes, this was A massive waste of time.
Police report this was in a populated area. They asked nobody.
I think, Your Honor, the evidence will show that on the date of January 4th, someone was present. We ask you, the jury, to acknowledge the possibility that somebody committed this crime.
Mhm.
That was quite the ordeal you went through. Still, it's just as Lord Bodwin said. Out of everyone, you're
Quite the
only
ordeal
one who
I
could
sent you
extinguish
through.
the brush fire.
No, thank
What a
you.
pat on the
But this
back.
conflict
Well, I feel
never
like they're
should
playing
have
like a Game of Thrones
my blood.
situation.
They are, yeah.
I'll be.
But if this
You
was like
control
Tekken,
it,
one of them
Lord.
would have just walked up and punched the other one, but they gotta like...
Hold out the date gun.
Here?
Yes. Apparently he wants to introduce us to his newly appointed
Now, if I
heir.
was to say anyone was their son,
That
be this
child
guy, but this is clearly a flashback.
Well, sir,
Yep.
rumor has it that he and the child aren't really related by blood.
Are you serious? If that's true, then why would he choose him?
I've no clue. Speak of the devil.
Hello,
Bird
boy.
Guide.
How adorable.
A book that I'm no doubt sure
you
is
reading?
actually
Oh.
something you could buy.
Say, following
Plenty of
your
bird
dad
books out
everywhere must get boring. Why don't I have someone bring you something? Is there anything you want? Toys or snacks?
Just by L.
Someone to wipe that black eye off of your face that I'm
Never
about
in
to
a
give you.
million years did I imagine I'd hear a
Don't
child
look down
say
on me,
that
kid.
name. Still, you continue to surprise me even to this day. Especially with the way you expertly handled Isnario Farid's downfall.
I haven't a clue what you're talking about. My apologies.
If you want to play dumb, so be it. I have no intention of denouncing you over that. That said, there's something I can't wrap my head around. I was always under
Just
the
pull the
impression
cap.
that
Do
you
you
were
think it makes me look
motivated
cool?
by a personal grudge. But now that Isnario is out of the picture, what exactly are you planning to accomplish with Gallerhorn? Well, I bet I'll find out soon enough. Although, when that day arrives, something tells me that our circumstances will be vastly different.
And so,
Miguelis doesn't
General,
blink.
What did our internal investigation?
I don't mean that
he-
as...
he's part
as
android,
was expected,
really.
we could
I don't mean
detect
that as like a cool,
Taking a man
like,
and
this band don't blink for
concealing
nothing,
his actual
like a cool
identity.
thing. I mean like,
That's not beyond the scope
the
of
entire
the
senior,
family.
no blink.
those were my
Mhm.
thoughts.
The other
as well.
guy blinked.
But what other tricks does Russell Eliam have?
Rustal had the blink budget. McGillis has no blink budget.
To say I feel like Rip Van Winkle. I woke up
So the
to find
entire
the
way that
war had
previous
started
scene was
and
like
ended. It's more than a
set.
little
Russell
jarring.
is the villain. Is Miguel's a good guy?
I don't think Rustal is the villain. I think Rustal is the prime mover. As the previous comment section we discussed in the last episode
Mhm.
On a more
would suggest is that he is the
optimistic
antagonist, the
note,
actual antagonist.
Right.
Antagonist doesn't necessarily
That's
mean
good,
villain.
And quite a relief, too. I
It just
couldn't
means
rest as
opposition to
afterlife
the,
of a young man
protagonist.
died saving a geezer like me.
I always thought you were more cold-hearted. What I mean to say is,
How did this guy
you've always
survive
come
point
across as
blank
someone
with an
who is
explosion?
level-headed and impassive.
By staying in bed,
A
apparently.
product of getting
No,
older,
he was
most
standing
likely.
up next to a,
Well, it's
by
wonderful
the
to
way,
see.
vase of flowers with a bomb in
This
it.
age changed
So you
us
know-
I
all.
love the comment though. It's like I used to think you were more of a dick.
By some
I just want
miracle,
to point
got
out
lucky
that
and survived this
dude
one,
was
but
almost
I
killed
can
by
see
an
now that my
explosive
time is
placed
limited.
within a vase of flowers.
But if I could
So,
pass on the
somebody thought
connections I've
a
built
good
up over my
decoration for his
lifetime,
recovery
I'd
room
give them to those who
would be a
still have
vase
their
of
lives
identical
ahead.
flowers.
So,
See?
dear
Right there next to
Miles
his bed.
Bernstein, what do you say? Could I
You
talk
know,
to
they
you
have a
staying
sense of
here on
irony.
Earth?
That or the art asset team ran out of money and just reused props that they had on hand. Like I said, they ran out of blink budget. So,
To be fair, it's been
Every
like
one of these
4
people
episodes.
died
Who's gonna
because of
remember
my
the pot of
shortcomings.
plants, right?
You can't blame yourself.
I mean, this guy's still alive too, so
This must be how the boss feels all the time.
he survived just long enough to see the list of the dead.
Every second I'm alive.
Like Gary Pillaw,
I can't stand it. It would have been much
a
better.
dear, dear character that we all knew.
Hit myself.
He was my favorite, really.
And Aston Atland,
Aston had the same
Who-
That's the guy who actually we saw on.
He was Aston
Yeah.
Altland.
Yeah.
But
The
Gary.
Brewer Boy soldiers had no surname. They were
who,
just
by the
human
way,
debris.
was... Oh, wait. Gary must have been that guy who zoomed in front of that other
They
dude.
were the ones that looked after him when he was alive.
Remember we had the whole
That's
conversation
why his
about...
name is first.
Yeah, he was the first one to die.
A lot more than I did.
Because there was the one death and we saw two bodies being buried, but there was only one person who died. So I guess Gary got ripped in half.
What's the story
Two
behind
graves.
these accounts?
I'm not really sure.
Oh, the
I'm
accounting
sorry,
scene.
But Mr. Radice handled those himself.
What about these?
Oh, those accounts were his responsibility too.
That's a bust.
I swear to God, if you look at the screens, it looks like they have just the same window open twice, one on top of the other.
Branch under his thumb.
So that's how they
Couldn't be
use it.
helped. It's our fault. We always let him handle the office.
Oh wow, they actually like have a
really
semi-detailed
sorry for all
spreadsheet
of
there.
this,
That's
boss.
neat.
You and Miss Maribit were forced to come to Earth because of me. But now everything's...
Hey, don't sweat it. Miss Maribit, can you check these payment vouchers?
Will do.
I'll be going then.
Nobody will remain on the edge of their
Poor
seats
Takagi.
for
He's
the
taking this pretty
voucher
He lost a lot of
reclamation
time
scene.
out there. I don't blame him.
What's wrong? You seem like you're kind of down.
Certainly, you didn't lose a friend
Deserve
suddenly.
to be in tech.
I'm more disappointed that he's here,
Bought all of
because I was
Mr.
hoping he was
Radice's
going to get a
files.
talk to ghosts
Blindly
scene.
followed the orders of a total stranger. Even though I knew the boss's orders were the most important.
The only thing you did was carry out the work that was assigned to you.
But
You obeyed those orders because you thought they came from Orga, right?
yeah, but that's still no excuse.
Besides, you settled it with your own hands.
You got your revenge. You should be
Orga and the
happy
guys
now.
still at it?
Yeah, they
No, we
are.
didn't.
All right then.
He
Okay.
killed the dude.
Akihiro killed the dude.
Takagi.
I'm
Mr.
talking
Radice
about the
is
accountant.
amazing. Back then,
Yeah, but
he
the one who
still
was
in the
ultimately
third group at the
responsible was
CGS.
the guy who,
And one
I guess he killed
Mr.
himself, so
Mizuki
Akihiro didn't
shot
really.
the first core guys. Everything changed for us that day. I did the same thing that he did, but nothing's gonna change for me.
Yeah, go figure shooting a guy in the back of the head who had his thumbs tied together behind his back was less
I
than
think all of
satisfying.
You still have a lot more to learn.
Really?
Yes, really. For example, you may think your choices are limited.
Also somewhat still
You have a
confused about
number of
having
options.
your
So you
thumbs
can
tied
only
behind
choose
your back,
one.
rendering you defenseless.
I don't think I could ever make a decision like that.
You know, making
Any
the
other
right
anime,
calls
we would have
is
seen that guy try to
one.
headbutt
However,
the gun out of
the
his
more
hand
you
or something.
experience, the more knowledge you'll acquire, and the more sensible you become, the easier it'll be to decide. And you'll do it all on your own.
And back to the Galahorn flutes.
No good! Work up a new simulation that's actually a challenge! This is useless for training.
I kind of want to see their simulations at some
A
time.
simulator? Aren't you the workaholic?
I feel like the only simulation that would matter would be a simulation where they fight Tekiden.
Yes.
Maybe you should
And
practice.
then they all lose.
No, I just mean maybe you should practice against the thing that will kill you,
You think
and
your
not the
presence
thing that
there
you
can
clearly
shift
can
to
beat
the
all the
tide
time.
of battle?
Of course I do.
Do you realize that saying such a thing, in essence, is making a mockery of the dead?
The bearded gentleman taught me every single thing I know about combat. He's the one who recommended me to Master Rustle, even though I had no family. And therefore, I have to stay at the top of my game, if I'm to repay these two great men.
You remind me of someone I used
That's a
to
very,
It's his plot line from season 1.
Ever grateful for being
that's a very
plucked out of the
ineffective
void
helmet.
by a respected senior officer. He fought out of pride.
You see how it has
for
a
the rest of
massive bulge
Where
thing
is
in the
that person
front?
now?
Which,
At the moment,
imagine if your nose was the other way around, and it
Close,
blocked
huh?
the section
I
right between
see.
your eyes.
If you're really be friends with such a fine person.
It's kind of
And
like a
perhaps you
weird
might be more
blinder
decent
effect he
man
has
than I
going on.
originally thought you were.
And if that's your criterion, then perhaps you have a simpler mind than I thought.
Was that you giving me a compliment?
By calling you stupid, was that a compliment?
Thank you.
Perhaps you have a simpler mind than I thought.
How's it going,
Well,
boy?
thank
Hey, look,
you.
it's everyone's favorite.
That Hitler.
Bit the big one again. As your big brother, I thought I'd swing by and cheer you up.
Big brother, you're just some old geezer.
Screw you guys.
Okay, I guess you were
Baggy
right.
costume.
Yeah, you were right.
Guests, you know.
I received word that you'd
It's
arrived.
out of costume, so I guess
I
I'm right.
thought I owed Tekkadan a personal thank you for saving us from that horrid predicament.
No. Unfortunately, our internal affairs were partly to blame for this. And some mystery man used it to his advantage.
Galan Mosa, and it's safe to assume that he was working under Rustal Elion.
We're dealing with that guy again?
We must deal with his faction, otherwise we can't reform Gallarhorn. Given the fact that they've made the first move, an all-out war with them isn't far off.
An all-out war, huh?
We will continue to need your assistance in this conflict.
Tekkadan's already promised you our support. We stand behind that. Like always.
Something the matter? Returns not worth the risk?
It's not that. I've asked before, but why the hell do you think so highly of Tekkadan? If there was a Galahorn civil war, I honestly doubt that we'd be much help to you.
I've been impressed with you ever since the first time I saw your people fighting on Mars.
Why?
Seeing the actions of young men piloting Gundam frames and fighting with so much vitality. I saw the
I knew
likeness of Agnika
that there was a
Kaiba
1% chance that I would get the Commander Crank backstory episode. So,
provided I can
that he would launch into why Commander Crank was such a great guy, and then how you killed him, and that made me respect you. I knew there was a 1% chance, but my hopes elated for just a moment.
Mars has been colonized by all the economic blocs. However, it is Gallarhorn who actually coordinates and governs those colonies. And if Tekkadan were ever to obtain that power, well, my friend, such an event would allow you to control all of Mars.
We'd rule over Mars, huh?
Yes, that's right. Your people will become the sovereign of Mars.
The sovereign of Mars.
What does Orca think of this?
I think you'll find that sovereign indicates an individual and not a group. Otherwise, you'd be the
Well, he gets to
sovereigns.
own everything.
Well, otherwise, you would then be the sovereigns of Mars. He said you people would be the sovereign of Mars. There's a plural there that he's just not. Look, the guy is supposed to be smart, is all I'm saying.
I wish that I never met any of you guys. Because
You know, if you turn that sideways and just, like, tap it a little bit,
It'll be widescreen.
you'll get a little
It'll
bit more
actually fill the whole
detail.
thing.
Yeah, you get a little detail out of it.
it's just that I wanted
It's
to
not
have
like
the
your
times
normal
again.
screens that you have attached to the monitors at your school.
Because we had those times, I made Aston suffer in his last moments. Because of me.
Don't talk like that.
Never mind that he said that or felt that.
Three of us were together. Just you, me, and Aston. I never want to forget those times.
Fuka.
So please,
I
you have to promise not to leave me
I
behind
just
with
noticed
all
that
those
is in fact a
times.
dual hair color.
You just noticed?
I just noticed. I wasn't paying attention before because it's always a front shot with just the blonde.
He's
So I
been a
just thought he was
character
blonde.
since season 1.
First time on Earth, and now we're heading home without having done anything fun. Hey, stop acting like Akihiro. What's gotten into you? You trying to bulk up?
Shut up! I have to give my training 110%.
Gotta go further beyond plus ultra.
Oh, so it's Mr. Mika's.
Again, he got jostled in a scene
No problems
and
here.
cried that it hurt. I mean, dude has a ways to go.
Here.
Also, to counter your argument, he apparently does not have the Elena Vignana system.
Oh right, he was begging for it before, and I guess he didn't actually get it.
Yeah, and when he was doing the push-ups, they showed his back. And that shit pokes out of a shirt. So he was just crying that it hurt for no reason.
So what do you want to do, Orga? To be completely honest, I may take him up on it.
But boss...
Considering your goal about Mars's independence, it's probably the best
Nothing
shot
would
we'll
make
ever
Mars
get.
more independent than me ruling it.
Yes, Wait, but how will that...
With an iron-blooded fist.
Would that cause a problem?
Yes, a big one. If Tekkadan grows too large too quickly, it might cause outsiders to see us as the top group.
It's literally how the season started.
See what Naze has to say.
Literally what your position already
Then I'll
is.
decide what needs to be done. But right now, I just have one thing on my mind. We've always been looked down upon, treated like garbage and taken advantage of our entire lives. But now we can be kings.
Now we can treat other people like garbage.
Power and reputation. Come on. Can't you all see it? The ultimate finish for us.
Sorry, in my head now I've got the One Piece call to action music in my head.
Mikazuki?
Dun, dun, dun.
You'll find
Dun,
my
dun, dun,
Gundam
dun.
in One Piece.
Oh no, it's just that whenever they're about to do something awesome, there's a one specific song that plays
Right, the action theme.
for over like 1,000 episodes. So that's kind of burnt in my head now.
That I'm going
You don't
to
get
quit
like
Tekkadan.
a speech like that
Saying,
and not have it play.
joining us on this Takagi.
Sovereign of Mars. I'm not sure what the job would entail, but it's safe to say more people would end up dying, right?
And that's why Takagi is the best sovereign of
The only
Mars.
reason Boss is going through all of this is because he wants to give us a
I mean, it
better
really feels like
The
they're
Child Emperor.
That feels like they're shoehorning in
I don't wanna make
the
fun
best
of
man for the job is the one who doesn't want it.
Being sovereign of Mars might mean we'd attain some great happiness, but that would mean throwing away the happiness we already have right here and now.
Yep, you seem super happy just last
I
scene.
just can't bring myself to do that.
Takagi. I understand.
What? But boss, we can't
What
just...
right do I have to stop him? Thanks for all you've done for us. And for sticking with Tekkadan this long. Takagi.
Boss, I
Man, if
told
we
you.
get to the end of the series and he's the only one like left alive, or
Thank you.
the only one who's ever successfully retired,
The boss said he's gonna
Yeah,
ask
he's the
around
one
and
left
find you a
alive.
good job right here on
Also,
Earth.
what do you
I
think
was
is...
about to say, like, he was gonna have no job, and he's like, no, they got him one.
The Earth branch was saved thanks to our
Okay, yeah, I was about to say that too. What is his prospects? Because he didn't have like any education.
Be that way.
No, we aren't.
He's good at one thing and he
The
just
only
quit
family
it,
that
so...
you need to worry about is Fuka. We can take care of ourselves without you.
Yeah, you little bitch.
Mikazuki with the double-edged comments.
For him, that's just his way of showing kindness.
By being a dick
No,
still.
don't think about Tekkadan. Just treasure your
Yeah, I
life.
guess he has the,
Also,
what was it from Fight Club?
you were a good friend to Aston.
What, John Paulson? What was the guy's name?
Robert Paulson.
Yeah, he
His
has
name
a-
is Robert Paulson.
He has a Robert Paulson mentality.
Back home to Mars.
You're not with us, you're dead.
I understand.
Without the proper knowledge, we can't make the right decisions. I wish we
And
had
this
the
is when
time.
bomb number
There's
2
so
goes
many
off.
things I want to learn from
Takes them
Mr.
both
Mark
out.
and I. However, even if my lack of knowledge
Again, it was a
leads me to
bomb that
come to
blew up like
conclusions,
the top half of a building
the time has
and sent
already
a
come
smoke
for us to
cloud
make some hard
spiraling
choices
off into the
for both me
atmosphere.
and Tekkadan.
Left one guy in a bed, and the other guy is
That
just
young
fine.
lady has become
No
quite the
scratch.
force of nature. Even
This dude can
so,
still wander around on both
when
feet.
all is said and done, I can't guarantee that you and your friends will like what awaits you down the path you have chosen.
This everything?
Turns out all-out
Yeah.
war for
These are all the
planetary
personal
supremacy?
effects of the dead Earth branch
Gonna be
members.
rough.
I'll leave the rest to Takagi. At this point, it feels like Earth has become something of a second home to us. It's strange. When I was human debris, I never thought I'd find a place where I truly belonged.
Yeah, I hear you.
Where's Akihiro? Hey, is everything okay?
He thought of Aston as his little brother, so I guess it's still tough for him. But he's okay.
No, not him. How are you?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. I won't tell Naze.
It's not like that!
Kind of like building up something on the side.
They've been doing it a long time. I made that comment already about the relationship all these girls have with what's his name, and how odd it is that, you know, she's looking outside of that, that whatever you call it, that P word that I can't remember the name of.
Right.
That they have polycule, that polycule that they have for another man.
Relieved in a way.
But I guess you can't really comment on that shit when you're part of one.
That's because
I'm also trying to keep up how much Mikazuki has in his sling. He's got the gun, he's got at least 2 bars of food there, he's got all the dates.
We just have to get to our goal.
I don't know, I think the difficulty would be keeping track of it in 0G, or semi-0 G as they are, because it'll also start floating around in there.
Mikazuki is such an odd pillar of stability for Orca to try to lean upon here, because he has Mikazuki has no reaction to anything.
I do love the investment we're supposed to feel for some of these characters. When in the credits, there's a listing of like 8 to 9 people whose only credit is Tekkaden member.
Hey, if you're gonna have an organization larger than 10 people, eventually some of them just kind of have to be in the background, right?
It went by and you started talking, so I didn't want to interrupt, but there's one that just said offline edit wins. It's like, what? What does that mean?
Hey there, big brother.
Hey, Fuka.
I figured you'd come home soon, so I waited for you. How was work today?
Well...
Well, I quit and,
Sometimes I swear you could just hang yourself.
Next time on Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, Vidar Rising.
Ooh.
To protect the place I belong, I have to start training again as soon as we get back to Mars. Akihiro, let me do sit-ups with you.
There's the actual Vidar Rising episode. There we go. He's gonna get into a fight.
Well, I guess so.
So that was the thing. That was basically a lot of wrap-up setup. That's how like they've always set these episodes, right? It's action, and then it's downtime, and then it's action again.
It's our transition into the next phase of a story.
Right. We were interested in figuring out where they're going to go, and the answer is that it's going to be all about taking over control of Mars now.
Yeah,
which makes perfect sense, actually.
Season 1 was all about traveling to Earth. Season 2 starts on Earth, and now we're about to start traveling back to Mars.
See you in 12 episodes, everybody.
Now, we've already dictated that we're basically in the final seasons of Game of Thrones, where you just appear where you need to be.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, we already know they can get there. It's fine. Alright. So, I think... trying to think what else I think about this episode. I'm still questioning, is McGillis a good guy?
No.
So does that mean at the end, they're going to fight McGillis?
No.
And that's what's keeping me confused, because I keep going, but he's the char of the show, right? He's got to be the antagonist that people fight against, right?
Well, again, you can be, as I pointed out before, being the antagonist doesn't make you the bad guy, it just makes you the the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Rustall is the bad guy of the show, as it were. So he's the
definitely being
antagonist.
set up to be the big villain here.
He's the antagonist that they would fight. It doesn't make McGillis the good guy.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to use, like, my sense of narrative to try to predict what'll happen. And with McGillis in this weird gray zone, it's hard to say, like, if he's going to actually come to a happy ending with the rest of Tekkaden, or he's going to fight them because of some ideological difference, or his quest for power.
It seems more likely that he'll find a happy ending. Doesn't mean it'll be with Tekkaden.
Yeah.
It seems more likely that he'll, like, cause...
I mean, they both survive to the
it seems
end.
more likely... Well, yeah, they'll survive to the end. It seems more likely that he'll cause Gjallarhorn to lose a significant bit of strength in the solar system, while at the same time achieving like the control that he wants. I mean, we see every opening. He marries that little girl.
Yeah.
Which is a political marriage to earn him strength.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I see him ending up in control of Earth, and Tekkadan getting control of Mars, which weakens Gjallarhorn, but we're looking forward to a Gjallarhorn civil war anyway, so a loss of Gjallarhorn strength is inevitable.
Rustal's only goal appears to be status quo, as far as I'm aware, right?
Well, Russell's goal seems to be, a Gjallarhorn that's strong, and it seems to be messing with McGillis company because McGillis seems to have all of his strength piled up in the Mars area, which seems like he's ready to pivot to give Tekkadan authority so that he can then move it elsewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think. So, it will be interesting to see how the war develops, so we're just gonna have to wait and see how that happens next time. So, this has been Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll see you all later. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?